What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope we're all doing well. Let's see. Give me 2 seconds to get engaged on this thing. And come on. Funky. Hello. Sorry, give me just 2 seconds, guys. I'm messing with some settings here. Come on. Give me 2 seconds here, guys. Sorry about the weird delays. Trying to get my Instagram stream working, but it may not work right now. It is what it is. So I guess that's the case. Bummer. Anyways, hope everybody's doing well. Good evening, and welcome to another invigorating episode of the Know Your Pharmacist Livestream, guys. I'm your host, Dr. Joaquin Acosta, proud CEO of Pharmtrue, where our mission is to empower wellness through pharmacist-formulated solutions. We're here to foster a community where curiosity meets healthcare, creating a realm of enlightenment and proactive wellness. Tonight's episode holds a canvas of topics ranging from pressing issues faced by pharmacies to a captivating exploration of legal aid in our community. We'll delve into recent pharmacy robberies in San Fernando Valley, shedding light on the underlying issues and the imperative for safety measures. In our Tech Talk segment, we'll unveil the simplicity, yet the paramount importance of identifying pills correctly, a small step with significant implications on our health journey. As we transition into Enlightenment Hour, we'll discuss how the portrayal of unhealthy diets in popular American films shapes our dietary choices. An insightful dive into the crossroad of culture and health. And in our Herbal Wellness Corner, we'll take you through the essence of preparedness with a touch of nature's bounty, exploring the concept of cannabis fire extinguishers in emergencies. One of ancient wisdom meeting modern exigencies. Community Spotlight brings forth an exceptional opportunity for legal consultations, step forward towards bridging gaps and fostering sense of justice and understanding in our society. So, very excited, guys. Let's get this thing going. We're going to start with the San Fernando Valley robberies. Interesting. So the robberies, actually about 6 robberies in California right now in a connected, perhaps little situation. Interesting. So pull this up. So dropping that in there here. 2 related back-to-back pharmacy burglaries in San Fernando Valley. Smashing through windows, being able to get through gates, of course, back to the drugs and the narcotics. Always things to keep in mind, even for us here. We haven't had many pharmacy robberies in New Mexico, but again, can always happen. And we were broken into back in the day, but our pharmacy inside was secure and hard enough to get into once, just getting through the front door was already hard enough. But people are able to do it. They kick through just about everything to get to the back, knowing what they needed, obviously, at that point. I mean, once you're in, it's a matter of time. So where we're looking at, drugstore robberies and things, want to have all of our pharmacy teams just make sure that, everybody stays on top of just being alert with your surroundings, of course, while you're on staff and on duty. I mean, nobody's life is ever worth any drug, regardless of if it's for your job or not, right? So at the end of the day, we want to make sure nobody wants to be a hero when it comes to defending a pharmacy in a robbery or something like that. And right now, these robberies are surging in San Fernando Valley. We really hope, this never affects us here in New Mexico, but you never know. So, I mean, for everybody to stay vigilant, stay on their toes, and just know it's none of that's worth your life by any means, right? For sure. So moving on to the next quick segment here, jumping in for you guys. Just want to talk about pill identifiers. Has anybody ever used a pill identifier before? Do you guys know what it is? I'll share this tab with you right here. In our Tech Talk segment, I want to make sure that everybody knows how to use a pill identifier. So pretty easy, like drugs.com will give you, one right that's comes to the top of the Google search engine. So again, you can literally plug in the imprint on any pill, shape, color, and truly just search what kind of pill that is. If you have medication that's laying around and you don't know what it is, this is something, generally anybody can do. So I think it's an important piece of technology that I want, people to consider that's relatively been around for a while. But again, if you ever have any questions about, hey, what drug is this? Or what did I find in my bathroom? you could simply probably answer it just, this quickly. And then from there, you could ask other questions to pharmacists, pharmacy teams, things like that. But for your parents, for those who have medications at the house, things like that, please consider using a pill identifier, especially for stuff that's laying around. National Drug Take-Back Day, there's only a couple of those a year. And things like, we don't know what medications maybe that we are supposed to be on or whatever that would be. Well, at least knowing what pill is what, maybe hopefully a little more helpful. Granted, I know people like to just say, hey, the blue one, hey, the red one, or whatever that would be. But again, we really don't want to get our patients used to thinking like that. I do want our patients to be a little smarter than that, and to be able to, if you can use, your cell phone to make a phone call, you can just as easily identify a medication on the ground. And from there, granted, you can ask questions and things like that. But I mean, again, knowing what you're on, knowing what you're putting in your mouth, very important things. So moving on, guys, we won't hang on that for too long. I hope everybody gets the resource there. Talking about some Enlightenment Hour segment here. So most popular American movies depict an unhealthy diet. And isn't this interesting? So looking at this, Stanford researchers back in 2020 examined the top 250 American grossing movies of recent decades, finding that the on-screen foods and beverages largely failed U.S. government nutrition recommendations and United Kingdom youth advertising standards. So interestingly enough, it's a good article, right? It's no surprise most people in the United States don't follow a healthy diet, but Stanford psychologists wanted to go deeper to find out why people don't eat healthier, even though they know it's better for them. So looking at this, right, an influential force in American pop culture movies to see how they depict beverages on screen to the public. Turns out, not very well. So check this little quote out.
There are many, many social contexts that are having impact on us in any given day. The ones we're aware of that are making a difference for our behavior, it's only a fraction of what's actually influencing us.
In this study, we were most interested in the foods and beverages depicted in the most popular American movies from the last 25 years. So between the years of 1994 to 2018, these are movies like the Harry Potter movies, the Twilight series, a lot of Disney movies. We watched those movies and we just recorded every time that we saw a food or a beverage depicted.
Each of these foods were coded for their nutrition, content, and quality. And then those contents and qualities were compared against several different standards, including federal dietary guidelines.
Across the board, the foods and beverages depicted in movies fail U.S. dietary recommendations. So they're depicting more salt, fat, and sugar than what we should be eating, and particularly more alcohol than what we should be drinking.
There have been many studies in the field that show that just mere exposure to something, just having it enter your sphere of awareness over and over is enough for you to develop a positive association with it, to start to like it.
So when you see characters like superheroes or your favorite actors consuming foods, that can subtly influence our behavior, in part because they shape our mindsets about food, what's delicious and exciting to eat.
Of course, some movies have specific settings. If you're showing a diner in the 1950s, it probably makes sense to show burgers and fries, but there's many times when the food or beverages depicted in movies aren't really relevant for the plot. And those are places where we could maybe be more mindful about the types of foods and beverages we're showing.
I think it's a really great opportunity for movie producers and actors to be empowered by these findings. Also to take more of a responsibility for the foods they portray on their screens for millions of people to see.
So makes sense, right? I mean, what we see monkey do, subliminally, we're all watching our favorite movies all the time. And, that food on those movies looks really good, and there's a reason for it, because it's probably not that good for you. So again, just something to be even mindful about, right? That popular American movies and the things that we consume in terms of content actually influences some of the decisions that we make in terms of choosing our diet and lifestyle choices and things as such. And to be mindful of that can just perhaps be just a little bit more aware, might make some better choices. Anyways, guys, moving on quickly, we are chugging through this thing today, talking about in our Herbal Wellness Corner, brought to you by High Horse Cannabis Company. Breaking glass emergency, why black pepper can save you from a bad weed experience. So again, have you ever heard the words get too high, or going over the limit, right, with cannabis and things like that? Well, black pepper, guys, I just want to make sure that everybody has that on deck. I know I've said it so many times, but again, I may not always be heard. So I need to go into a routine, because I was just having this conversation earlier today. Hey, black pepper is a great thing to keep in your back pocket, especially if you're still trying to find your dose with cannabis, starting low and going slow. But what happens if you go a little too high, right? Black pepper can actually help calm you down. So when you're looking at a pantry staple, you don't have to spend any money on, and can consider having a fire extinguisher for cannabis, right? The terpenes inside of black pepper, just, by the aroma under the nose, becomes an antidote for those who feel, too high, right? Try black pepper balls if you get paranoid. Some people say just chew 2 or 3 of them. So chewing the black pepper balls for some. I've, had people just do the aroma or crush them, right? So again, black peppercorns, when chewed or smelled, can actually provide relief from paranoia and anxiety. How? Well, black pepper, just like cannabis and other plants, contain terpenes, right? So what does that mean? Well, caryophyllene and pinene, 2 terpenes in black pepper, and have calming effects that both to help negate the effects brought about by THC. So again, you can maybe just put it in foods if you don't want to just eat it, or if you can just get that aroma. Really, 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 that's all you need. So looking at that and taming the intoxicating effects of THC, Dr. Ethan Russo, he's one of the big cannabis doctors here in the country. And I mean, this is what he recommends. So again, for everybody to that's out there trying and experimenting, still novice in terms of finding your dose, starting low and going slow, I just really want you to consider, do you have black peppercorn in your cabinet? Do you know to use it if you get a little too, buzzed from the cannabis, or whatever term that you might use to describe that? So anyways, moving on into our community spotlight, we're still crushing through this, guys. Want everybody to be aware. This was a cool one I saw over at Brannigan Library. First come, first serve on consultations with attorneys. And that's pretty cool. So here at the library in Las Cruces on Saturday, November 4th, they're going to be talking to anybody about all kinds of different stuff. Let me put this on the screen. Excuse me for not sharing this. It's going to be like 2 seconds. Over. Nope. Anyways, that's it right there. First come, first serve. They're going over all kinds of law, all kinds of everything. And, thing when it comes to legal aid and those kinds of matters, very expensive. You may not know you need it. So for those of you who might find a situation where you could really use that free in-person consultation to save some cash, guys, if you've got a divorce or whatever, custody or whatever's going on right there. I mean, have you even considered like POAs for health and things like that? All good. Have you written a will? Do you have an estate? Like things like that. Lawyers take care of all those things. So might as well talk to one for free. Again, consultations on Saturday, November 4th, Law Palooza at Brannigan Library. Last thing, guys, November is coming up, so that's what I want to touch base with you guys today. our Men's Health Minute, just talking about, right, the most shocking men's health fact and how you can change it. So again, we know Movember's coming up. A lot of men like to grow their mustaches out in support of, like, prostate cancer or whatever that may be, for a trend, But really, what Movember is all about is, prostate cancer. And so, look at this: the most shocking men's health fact and how you can change it. According to Movember Foundation, men around the world die on average 6 years younger than women when prostate cancer is detected late. Men have a 26% chance of survival beyond 5 years. In the United States, testicular cancer is most commonly diagnosed cancer in young men, and men also account for 75% of all suicides. And the most shocking fact is that the reasons men face these odds, guys, are largely preventable. So we already know, again, regular doctor visit, natural foods, moving more, those 10,000 steps a day, keeping those pounds off, trying to use safer, non-toxic products, getting off the nicotine and tobacco, cutting back on the booze, going to the doctor and acknowledging your health. That knocks it all out. And getting your prostate examined when it's actually time, right? Males in your 40s, get that thing done. Colonoscopies, 50s, get it all checked out. So we're already getting there in those Movember times. If you're not growing out your mustache yet, guys, it's time. Anyways, hope everybody has a good, fantastic rest of their evening, and we will touch base